morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Clap your hands, clap, clap, clap. Stomp your feet, stomp, stomp, stomp. Spin around, spin, spin, spin. Alright. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Wash your hands, wash, wash, wash. Shake your hands, shake, shake, shake. Brush your teeth, brush, brush, brush. Alright. Good morning.
Good morning and that. You big dummy. To those of you that were tuned in last night, I apologize. But I think I figured out what the problem was when I got this new when I got the new computer a couple of weeks ago. You know, I haven't done a live show in a while with Christmas and some other things. And when I got this new computer in the other day and unhooked the old one, hooked the new one up, I was in a hurry. I did it kind of quickly, and it was electrical interference is what was causing that. Basically, I had too many things plugged into the same power strip right here next to the computer, because when I got the new computer, I just plugged everything in real quick just to make sure everything worked, and then I never went back and fixed it. If you weren't on the live stream last night, then don't worry about it. If you were, then that was the issue. So I spent like 2.5 hours till about 2 in the morning last night redoing it. And y'all can let me know. Oh, I hear somebody now. I don't hear the static anymore. Okay. It took me forever to figure out what the problem. I don't know why that didn't dawn on me right away. I had no idea what the problem was. I was unplugging and replugging everything on the soundboard and unplugging the wires in and out of the back of the computer, trying to figure out what the problem was. And I was back there messing around, and I looked down and I saw that power strip, and I was like, that's the damn problem. Everything is plugged into that one. So anyway, that ended up being what the problem was. I think I see a couple of you in the comments saying there's no you don't hear the static now, so that's great news. So I apologize for that. There was a couple of people, I think, who gave super chats as the stream was starting last night, and I was never able to respond to them because I couldn't get the static to go away, and I was live on the air, and I just said screw it and shut it down. So I apologize for that. I apologize for the static, but like I said, I'm pretty sure I got it figured out now. And from what you guys are saying in the chat, it seems like it's sounding pretty good to you guys to you guys too. So, enough of that. Yeah, Dr. Vol, I gotta wear the hat. You see, 2019. You can't really see. It says it under here too. It's actually a good looking hat. I actually like the way they designed this hat better than I have the one from 2017, obviously, when Georgia won the SEC a couple of years ago. I like the design of this hat better. I just hate that it says LSU right there. I'd much rather it said UGA. But it is what it is. But I'm a man of my word. A couple of weeks before the game, somebody said if LSU wins, you should buy an LSU SEC championship hat and wear it. And I said, what the hell? I'll do it. And then somebody over on the Patreon page has asked me when I'm done with it, can they have it? So I'm going to send it to an LSU fan who's a member over on the UNCLELOU Patreon page. But I'm going to wear the hat. I can't say I'll wear it in every single video, but I'm going to wear the hat multiple times between now and whenever LSU gets eliminated or wins the national title, which I'm thinking will happen after the national title. I mean, they're going to beat Oklahoma, I think, so I'll have another week and a half or so to wear the hat, and then I'm going to send it off to an LSU fan over on the Patreon page who had asked I can't tell if you're trolling or not, saying you still hear the static noise, because everybody else said they can't hear it. So, and I don't recognize your name, so I'm going to assume troll for now. But maybe somebody else can let us know. I don't know. Maybe somebody else can let us know. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Slim. So anyway, that's the story with the hat. So I'll be sending it off to one of the Patreon members who requested it, an LSU fan. So that's the story. Uncle Lou, man of his word. But anyway, Merry Christmas to all you guys. It's over with now. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. Hope you got what you wanted and not what you deserved. Did anybody get any? I'm assuming most of you probably did, but because we're all pretty big college football fans. I am, obviously, and if you're watching a channel like this, you are too. So I'm sure a lot of you got college football related items for Christmas. So what's the coolest thing you got for Christmas? College football related. Nobody cares about the new pair of pajamas you got, or the pair of socks your aunt got you, or whatever. But what's the coolest college football item that you got? Tyler Satterfield, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, is Diaz tenure at UM as bad as Taggart's at FSU? The thing about Taggart and why I had him on such a short leash is because he had been a coach before, and he had proven to me already that he didn't know what he was doing. So I thought it was a bad hire to start with. Manny Diaz has never been a head coach, so we don't know good or bad. And so I'm willing to give Manny Diaz a pass on season one, because it's his first year as a head coach. I saw enough from Willie Taggart before he ever got to Florida State to think that he wasn't. I don't think Willie Taggart deserved that job to start with. I think he had proven that he wasn't a very good head coach. I'm not sure why Florida State hired him. So I think Manny Diaz. Now, if Manny Diaz comes out next year and Miami craps the bed this bad again, then maybe you start asking some questions about Manny Diaz. But a first-year head coach, I don't think you can judge a first-year head coach off of their first year as a head coach. I don't think that's right. So we'll see. Is he on the hot seat next year or whatever? I don't even. That's even hard to say. But again, I don't think he can come out next year and end with a losing record again. With Miami finishing up this year at 6-7 after losing Louisiana Tech yesterday. But I know Miami fans aren't happy with Manny Diaz, but in terms of him getting fired, or do I think he's in over his head or anything like that, I think it's a little bit too hard to say that, considering that this was his first year as a head coach. But again, he's got to do a lot better. Got to do a lot better next year, in my opinion. I've had enough of that. Zoe, what's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping through the other day. Keep doing you. Good morning, sir. Thank you. I don't know because I don't hear it. See, that's the problem. Y'all hear it on y'all's. Even yesterday, I couldn't hear it on my end. It's only on y'all's end, so I can't tell. I can't tell if y'all are being serious or not. I mean, it's definitely not like it was yesterday. Yesterday, you couldn't even hear me. It was. You couldn't watch it yesterday. I had to end the stream yesterday. It was that bad. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. All right. Thanks, Slim. So anyway, did y'all see the fight at the end of the Eastern Michigan Pitt game last night? See if I can find something on that. Where's that at? Here we go. I don't know if this will have video or not. Doesn't look like it. But it was the end of the game. I mean, you can read it here. 10 seconds to go. The quarterback got tackled, and he basically stood up and threw 2 punches. One of them hit the referee. It didn't really look like a punch. It looked more like a slap. And really, if you see the video, and I saw it on Twitter last night, if you see the video, the referee really looks like one of those soccer players who doesn't really get hit but just falls down like a flop or whatever. But anyway, I don't. How many people saw? I mean, nobody was watching that game to start with, were they? Eastern Michigan and Pitt. But yeah, the guy ended up getting ejected. But like I said, there was 10 seconds left in the game, and Pitt did win 34-30. But where was it I saw? I think it was on Twitter where I saw the video. If you guys want to try to find, I'm sure you can find it. It can't be that hard to find. But and a lot of games today. Now I've already done the previews for today's games, but we'll take a look at them anyway. Some decent games today. The first SEC team is playing today, Texas A&M. But you got North Carolina at Temple in the Military Bowl. I went with North Carolina in that one, but these are both two good teams. I mean, not great teams, but good teams. I think both these teams exceeded expectations for this year. Not very many people had any very high hopes for North Carolina year one with Mac Brown. I thought they did pretty good this year, and their quarterback played really well. And I mentioned this in the preview video, but if you look at like the 2020 Heisman list or Heisman odds, he's on there. Now, a lot of people are on there for a 2020 Heisman list at this point, and that list gets narrowed down, obviously, as you get closer to the season and then as the season starts. But he had a pretty good year as a freshman. I think expectations are going to be pretty high for North Carolina this year. I think this year there were no expectations. They've been bad the last year or two. You bring Mac Brown back from retirement, you don't really know what you're going to get from him. But after the year they had this year, I think expectations are going to be pretty high next year, year two for Mac Brown at North Carolina. And I think they could have a pretty good team. And Temple was pretty good this year too. So this will be a good game. Comes on at noon. Michigan State versus Wake Forest. Wake Forest had a pretty good offense for most of the year and not much defense. Michigan State had a pretty good defense most of the year and not much offense. So we'll see. I think I went with Michigan State in this game. It's hard for me to pick the ACC in any of these bowl games, especially against Power 5 teams, because the ACC was just so bad overall this year. But Michigan State was not great. I mean, I'm kind of surprised Michigan State kept D'Antonio too. I thought maybe they would have decided to make a change this year. I mean, their offense was that bad. And their defense is really good. I mean, you get some people who don't know anything about football or don't pay attention to it. Just look at a team's record or something. But Michigan State's defense has been great the last couple of years, and their offense is just pitiful. I mean, Michigan State's offense makes Georgia's offense look like LSU. That's how bad it is. But again, you remember when they tried to convince us that Wake Forest was a really good team because they were like 6-2 or something when they got ready to play Clemson? They're not that good of a team. I mean, outside of Clemson, the ACC is just so bad. It's hard for me to go with them in any of these bowl games, I think. So I took Michigan State in that one. That's the, what is that, the Pinstripe Bowl? So this is the one played in Yankee Stadium? Yeah, there it is, played in Yankee Stadium. Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. I took Texas A&M in this one, but I freely admit that's just the SEC homer in me coming out there. Texas A&M was not impressive this year. I know I keep saying, well, they went 7-5, but look at their 5 losses. And yeah, all 5 of their losses were good losses. They were all to top 15 teams: Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Auburn, and LSU. So they lost to 5 really good teams, but if you're a good team, you got to beat some of those teams. I mean, I get it. Those are 5 good teams they lost to, but you got to beat some of those, especially when you have a coach like Jimbo Fisher, national title experience. And Texas A&M has recruited pretty well over the last few years. You got to win some of those. So I don't mean to come off like I'm trying to inflate Texas A&M or make them into something they're not when I say, what are 7-5? But look at who they lost to. I get it. You got to beat some of those teams sometimes, right? But Oklahoma State, I mean, they're the same team every year, too, year in and year out. Pretty good offense. You know, they don't even try to play defense. The head coach, this Gundy with his mullet. And Oklahoma State just seems to disappear for 2-3 games a season, no matter what. I mean, you can Oklahoma State's going to win 8 or 9 games every year, aren't they? It just seems that way. Never any more, never any less. They always have a couple of really good players on offense this year. It's that Chuba Hubbard, the running back. He's pretty good. I picked Texas A&M to win here. I would not bet on Texas A. I wouldn't bet them, though. I think that was just me being an SEC homer when I went with Texas A&M. Oklahoma State could win this game. That's the Academy Sports and Outdoors Texas Bowl. Of course, played in Texas in that. Southern Cal and Iowa. This is one where I sort of went the opposite way of what you might have thought I would. Even when I did the preview video, I almost the entire time that I talked about this game, all I talked about is what a disappointment Southern Cal is and how they shouldn't have kept Clay Helton and their recruiting in the 80s, and you know they're falling further and further behind in the weak Pac-12. But then I picked Southern Cal to win. I like Iowa. I mean, they have a good defense. They've played better competition this year, clearly, than Southern Cal has, being in the Big Ten here, Iowa. But I picked Southern Cal to win that one. I still think Southern Cal has some pieces on offense that make them dangerous. They've played 4 or 5 quarterbacks this year, and it hasn't seemed to matter, honestly. They've got great wide receivers. I picked Southern Cal in that one. That's the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl. The Credit Union Bowl. And then, of course, the Cheez-It Bowl, Air Force at Washington State. I took Air Force in this one just because they're a service academy. I don't have any interest in this game. Washington State, Mike Leach is a weirdo. Outside of some SEC team hiring Mike Leach so that I can watch interesting press conferences 12 times a year, I honestly could care less about Washington State or Mike Leach. Gardner Minshew's gone. I mean, they still have a pretty good offense because they're always going to have a pretty good offense because that's just sort of Mike Leach's thing. They're just not a good team. I went with Air Force. I hate picking against the service academies. So, unless there's some reason why I really would have to, I don't like picking against the service academies, so I picked Air Force there. So I'm not trying to tell you these games are great, but some of these are worth. Listen, these are better than some of the other bowl games they've given us so far. Michigan State and Wake Forest has the potential to be a good game. North Carolina and Temple has the potential to be a good game. And Oklahoma State, Texas A&M. Really, 4 out of these 5 games I think are watchable. Right? I think 4 out of 5 of these games are at least watchable. I can't imagine there's very many people staying up till 10:15 tonight, counting down the time to kick off for Air Force at Washington State in the Cheez-It Bowl. Like I said in the preview video, an actual bowl of Cheez-Its would make me happier than watching the Cheez-It Bowl here. But I think 4 out of 5 of these games are watchable. I think 4 of them are pretty good games, these first 4 here. And then tomorrow, of course, is what everyone has been waiting on with the 2 playoff games. The other 2 games are just okay. They're just okay. But you know what? I'm kind of glad they did it this way. It's sort of spread out, right? You've got the 2 playoff games here on Saturday. And then if you scroll down to Tuesday and Wednesday, well, Wednesday especially, you've got a lot of the other New Year's Six bowls. With obviously, would it be a New Year's Day? So you've got the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl. You know, the day before that, you've got some good games. So I like how they have it spread out here. But on the games tomorrow, Memphis versus Penn State. This could be a good game. This could be a good game. What was it? Central Florida, right? They got a shot at Auburn a couple of years ago and pulled it off. They got a shot at LSU last year and came up short. Where will Memphis fall? Can they compete with Penn State? What do you guys think about this one? Can Memphis pull this off against Penn State? I haven't done a preview on these 2 games yet. I'm going to do a preview today after the morning show. I did the 2 playoff games yesterday. So if you haven't seen those and you want to, those were both uploaded yesterday. I did a preview on the Peach Bowl, Oklahoma and LSU, and a preview on the Fiesta Bowl, Clemson and Ohio State. Did both those videos yesterday, so you can check those out if you want to. I didn't do these 2 yesterday. So today, after the morning show ends, I'm going to do a preview video on these 2 games here, Memphis versus Penn State in the Cotton Bowl, which is Saturday, and Notre Dame versus Iowa State in the Camping World Bowl, also Saturday. And I'm going to preview the Monday games. So that'll be today's video if you're wondering what's coming up later. It'll be a preview of these 2 games here and then all the Monday games. And then I'm going to make a separate video for all the Tuesday games. And then the Wednesday games. And then I'll probably do all these. Indiana at Tennessee. Will we see General Valtard? Stay tuned in that. Stay tuned in that. Does anyone care about the Bowl Mania Challenge and who's winning that thing? Syracuse and Buffalo Sports. Good morning, sir, and thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. He says, I got my sister a box of Cheez-Its for Christmas. Well, she must have been pretty good this year. I don't know what else to say about that. I haven't checked the standings in our bowl pick'em challenge thing in a couple of days. Snake says his bowl mania is done. My kids got me this robe for Christmas. I love this thing too. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not very warm, but that's okay. I have that big blue one that I normally wear, and that thing is big and thick, and this one is more lightweight, which is great because I can wear this at more points during the year. And it's not that cold today here actually either, but this one's more light. This thing is nice. It's soft, feels good. Anyway, my kids got me this for Christmas and that. Dan Rurick, good morning, sir. Miami. Not only did Miami lose Louisiana Tech, they got shut out. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Dago says, I will not be a repeat champion. Miami's 1-9 in their last. I didn't realize that. Miami's 1-9 in their last 10 bowl games. Wow. Hey, what's up, Jared? Haven't seen you around here in a while, buddy. Guess you've been busy with that super important Facebook group you're running. Let me pull up the standings. Let me pull up these bowl manias because I wasn't doing very good. I think the last time I looked, I was in 90th place. I mean, there's about 400 people in it, but I was in like 90th place. Let me see where I'm at now. Where am I? I'm 67th now. I'm only 3 points behind the leader, though. Here. Forgot to put it up on the screen. But here's me. I have 8 points. And the first place people have 11. There's one. So the herd is starting to thin out here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 people. 5 people tied for first. So Mr. Color Rush is in first. You guys remember him? He was the first ever. He was the first person to sponsor the morning show when we started it a couple of months ago. He's the him and his buddy, college students. One of them goes to Texas A&M. You guys remember him, right? And they have that podcast they do, the Color Rush podcast. I'm assuming this is him. So he's in first place with 11 points, tied with Larry P. Legalized Quack, which is one of the greatest screen names you could possibly have if you're an Oregon fan. It's just, this is genius here. Fork 30, what is that? Fork 34, good morning. Allen Outdoors. So these are the winners here. We're all chasing these 5 people here. And then you got a lot of people sitting just 1 point behind. I'm not going to name them all, but you can see them on the screen there. Michael Vick, man, I miss him calling in, don't y'all? Remember when he used to call in all the time? Every time he called in, it sounded like he literally just got done smoking like 8 pounds of marijuana. Like the guy, he just lived his entire life in slow motion. Who else is on here? Ain't played nobody. Has 9 points. That's pretty good. How many did I have? 8? Yeah, 8. Bring CMR back in 2020 has 9 points. The creativity level on some of these names is off the charts. Bob the Barner. I'm losing to Bob the Barner. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Lane Kiffin's burner phone. I'm not sure what's wrong with. I'm not sure what's wrong with a lot of you. I'm gonna be honest. Lane Kiffin's burner phone. Oh my God. Anyway. E-Duff says, Uncle Lou, what do you think about Boomer Sooner losing 3 starters? That's obviously bad news. If you want to know more, I talk about that in detail in the preview video I did yesterday when I previewed that game. You can click back and watch that. I think I spent about 5 minutes talking about that, but that's obviously not good. 3 out to suspension. Starting safety's out because he's injured. Oklahoma was fighting an uphill battle even if they were at full strength. Snake says Ohio State winning it all. I'm not. I wouldn't write off Clemson. I think Ohio State could win it all too. But man, that Ohio State Clemson game is going to be a good one. This is probably the best first round playoff game we've had. I think. I mean, these are 2 really. Either one of these teams could win it. I mean, I think this is going to be a really good game. How did Florida get to play Virginia Tech? They're playing Virginia, not Virginia Tech. Matthew Smalley, good morning, sir. You pulling for North Carolina or Temple? I don't know that I'm really pulling for either team. I think North Carolina will win. I don't think LSU has the defense to win it all. If you look at who's won the national title over the last 4 or 5 years, it's been a team with a top 5 defense. In fact, the last 2 years, it was the team with the number 1 defense overall has won the national title. I know, offense. You do have to have a good offense these days to get into the playoffs and to win it, but you also have to have a great defense. And the last couple of years, it's been the team with the best defense that's won the national title. Out of the teams that have made the playoffs, it's been the team with the best defense that's ended up winning it all. And that's not LSU this year. I do think LSU might have the best offense, but I wouldn't. If LSU was playing Ohio State tomorrow, I would pick Ohio State, and if LSU was playing Clemson tomorrow, I would pick Clemson. Now that might change after I watch these playoff games, but as of right now, I think LSU is the third best team in the playoffs. And that's not a knock on LSU. If you're in the playoffs, you're a great team. So I'm not knocking LSU, but you got to pick somebody. If I pick LSU, it doesn't mean I hate Clemson and Ohio State. If I pick Ohio State, it doesn't mean I hate Clemson and LSU. And, you got to pick somebody. And I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel about it right now. The best defense is the best offense. That's not true. Oklahoma's had the best offense in America the last 2 years, and their defense has been abysmal. So that's just not true. Offense scores points, defense wins championships. That's not true anymore either. You have to have an explosive offense nowadays. I agree with you. You have to have a defense. Listen, Oklahoma's had the best offense in football for 2 or 3 years in a row and can't win a playoff game. So defense does matter. But the whole thing that defense wins titles and it doesn't, you don't have to have an offense, that's just not true anymore. If that was the case, Georgia would be in the playoffs. Georgia's defense is amazing, but their offense is pitiful. What happened to Squidtard's channel? Georgia plays Baylor in the Sugar Bowl on Wednesday. Yeah, I don't want Ohio State to win it because of the Justin Fields thing. It's not because I hate Justin Fields. I like Justin Fields. I don't know how more clear I can be about it. I wish we had Justin Fields. We clearly chose the wrong quarterback. But it's already a bad look for Georgia and Kirby Smart. If Ohio State were to win the national title, it just makes it that much worse. Yeah, Trips, I took North Carolina too. Bears, Cubs, Canes, what's up, buddy? Dirty Dog says, but who have Miami played? Who have they played? Well, they played Louisiana Tech, FIU, Georgia Tech, Duke, and got humiliated by all 4 of those teams. That tells you anything you need to know, honestly. Jared, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe for 1 second that someone tracked Squidtard's IP address and tried to delete his channel. I don't believe that. The second part of what you say is possible, that someone spam flagged a bunch of his videos. But I don't believe for 1 second that someone sat around watching Squidtard videos and went, you know what, I'm going to backtrace this guy's IP address and try to hack into his YouTube account and delete it. I just don't believe that. Bring back the team. I wore the team asshole hat yesterday in the Miami video, didn't I? I think I did. I'll look again, but pretty sure I did. Oh, yeah. I did wear it. But it was turned around backwards. This is pitiful. Louisiana Tech just scores again, 14-0. A minute 15 to go in this game. First shutout in the history of the Independence Bowl, which aptly renamed this year to the Walk-On Bowl. Listen, Miami earned an invitation to this Walk-On Bowl. They earned it and they deserved it. They have walk-on talent. That's what Miami has. These fans can keep crying about Dan Enos and Manny Diaz and Jaron Williams and Tate Martell. You can cry about all these players and coaches. You can do whatever you want.
Oh, no, there
you
it
don't
is.
have any talent. Miami's program is dead. This is it. The program is dead. Outclassed by Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech, more motivated, better coached, better players. And that's the part that the Miami fans, even the ones who have accepted the fact that Miami is not any good and hadn't been for the majority of their lifetime, they still, too many of them are still clinging on to this idea that Miami has elite talent and it's all the coach's fault. There's no talent on this team outside of one or two players, and that's not enough to get anything. Look at this. Running for his life, intercepted, dropped, I guess. Jaron Williams is, and this is what's bad. Jaron Williams is a true freshman. He's starting next year. He's a trash can. It's not Dan Enos' fault that Jaron Williams is completing 35% of his passes, is it? This is pitiful. This is pitiful. I'm going to say it for the millionth time. This was not a bad season for Miami. This was a typical Miami season. Miami's a terrible program. You didn't have a bad year or a down year. You're not one recruiting class away. You're not one new offensive coordinator away. You're a terrible friggin' program. Here's a good analogy for you. You know what Miami is? Miami Hurricanes football program is like Fred Sanford's junkyard. Ain't that right, Grady? Yeah, type about it. I don't know what to tell you. This is pitiful. This is pitiful. This is a dollar store version of anything even remotely close to what Miami used to be. This is pitiful. This is like if you went into one of those old-ass antique stores or consignment shops in one of those little rinky-dink podunk towns out in the middle of nowhere, right? And they sell all this old shit. You go in there with your kids and you're like, see that, son? That's called a home phone. We used to use those. Yeah, it was called a landline. You're going to have to go into places like that now just to hear stories of the good old days when Miami used to be able to beat teams like Louisiana Tech and FIU. So congratulations, first shutout in the history of the Independence Bowl, which is now forever going to be known as the Walk-On Bowl, because Miami showed up to this game, the Walk-On Bowl, with walk-on talent and got absolutely humiliated now by Louisiana Tech. Here's Jaron Williams throwing up a prayer, a miracle, Hail Mary. Another interception by Jaron Williams here. Oh, damn, they dropped it again. Louisiana Tech keep dropping interceptions. Jaron Williams doing his best to throw it to him. Just can't get it done. 30 seconds still to go. Best case scenario for Miami, get the hell out of this game before Louisiana Tech score again. This is embarrassing, humiliating, sad, pathetic, dismal. I'm serious. You're going to have to go into one of these old antique stores and there's going to be some old man in the corner and he'll regale you with tales of how Miami used to be able to do amazing things like beat FIU. Now you're the 7th best team in your own state. God almighty, that's pitiful and sad.
305. His turnover team with 305 on it. Listen, there's a reason all these elite high school players from the 305 get the hell out of there and don't go to Miami. And it's not because you don't recruit them. I keep hearing this. I don't know why we don't recruit these South Florida players. Hey, Dillhole, you do recruit them. God dang it. You do recruit them. They just don't choose to go there. Golly, if there's a high school recruit anywhere in America that's smart enough to fog a mirror, he ain't going anywhere near Coral Gables.
Busy. That's life for you.
So I did wear the team asshole hat, so you're welcome, I guess. I don't know. Team asshole. Yeah. Anyway, what else? No one ever told me what they got for Christmas. They did. I wasn't paying attention. But did you get something cool college football related for Christmas? Let me know. I got the. What did I get? I got this robe. I got I got a few things. What else did I get? What did I get? Oh, I got a helmet. I got a full-size helmet. A Columbia sportswear pullover. Yes, but so what did you guys get? Tommy says Ohio State etched Yeti. That's when I first saw that comment. I thought it said Ohio State etch a sketch. Etched Yeti. That's cool. Hoodie. Okay. Oh, a truck tag. That's cool. Yep. Bluetooth merchandise. That's probably the best possible gift anyone could have gotten. You got a lazy boy to watch football. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Got a LSU SEC championship shirt. You got a car, Josh? Wow, you probably win for best gift this year. Then, congratulations, sir. That's amazing. Lou Jr. got the Mustang? No, that's not no. A Michigan State sweatshirt. A Georgia Sucks T-shirt. Madden 20. Lou Jr. got Madden 20. A new guitar. I'm always impressed with people who have musical. I can barely clap. That's how much musical ability I have. He said he got socks. Kids took all the money. I know that feeling too, buddy. A gold Cuban link chain. Oh, a case of different kinds of hot sauces. That sounds like something my dad would like, and my brother. They're into that kind of thing, too. A Green Bay Packers license plate and a T-shirt. Pots and pans. Of course I can dance. You got a rock, like a pet rock. A Griswold light bill. Yeah, I got a new computer. Yeah, Josh, you do. Get you a LouTube shirt. Or better yet, get you a Who Have They Played. Get you one of them Who Have You Played shirt. You know those Who Have You Play? The Who Have You Played shirts that are on the Uncle Lou t-shirt store, whatever it is. The links are in the description of most of the videos, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Or not the description, but if you scroll down right underneath the video, you'll see it. But anyway, the Who Have You Played shirts is by far the biggest selling shirt in the history of LouTube. It's not even close. It's probably 10 times the number of any other shirt on there. My friend said, who has OSU played? Georgia fans are still trying to sing that tune, too. Oh, yep, Ohio State. I had one yesterday. Yeah, we'll see how Justin Fields does this weekend when they finally play somebody. Ohio State has beat 3 top 15 teams in a row. Ohio State could go out and lose by 100 points to Clemson. What would that prove to these people? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how people are still trying to deny that Justin Fields is elite. Like, you might as well walk around with a big old, like, just put a Post-it note right on your forehead that says, "I'm racist and stupid." Because those are the only two explanations for anybody to still think Justin Fields is no good. You're either a racist or you're completely football stupid. And so anybody that's in the Justin Fields is no good camp, I'll leave it up. You individually can decide which of those two things you are. I'm not going to tell you you're racist. If you're willing to admit you're stupid, that's fine. But you're one of the two. Anybody who is still trying to deny that Justin Fields is an elite college quarterback. Those are the only two explanations. You're a racist or you're stupid. There's no other possibility. No, I don't think Manny Diaz should be fired. It was his first year ever as a head coach. So we had somebody earlier in the show ask about him compared to Willie Taggart. And the thing with Willie Taggart, he got fired after year 2, first of all, not year 1. And Willie Taggart had been a head coach for years already. So, but this was Manny Diaz's first year as a head coach. So I don't think you can. I think if you hire a first-year head coach, you have to be willing to accept some bumps in the road. I mean, sometimes it works out great and a team goes on and doesn't miss a beat, like Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley, Ohio State with Ryan Day. But that's not the norm. That's the exception. Usually if you hire a coach who's never coached before, there's going to be a few bumps in the road. So with that being said, though, Miami's got to do much better year 2, I think. I think Ian Book is okay. I don't think he's. I honestly don't even. I don't even think he's probably. I don't even think he's one of the 10 best quarterbacks in college football. But I mean, he's not terrible. Yeah, Kirby went 7-5 and then won his bowl game and finished 8-5. And then the second year he made the national title game. So, with basically the same team. So he learned a lot year 1. Jalen Hurts is a winner. Well, every single quarterback in the college football playoffs is a winner. Joe Burrow's a winner. Justin Fields has never lost a game. Trevor Lawrence has never lost a game. So every quarterback is a winner that's in the college football playoffs. Lost Aggie got a cup, a shirt, a West Florida National Championship T-shirt, and a who have they played? Ian Book to Oklahoma. I think this is the last year of the Oklahoma transfer quarterback situations. You know, they Baker Mayfield transferred in, Kyler Murray transferred in, Jalen Hurts transferred in. I don't think we're going to see that next year. I think next year we're finally going to see an Oklahoma quarterback play who was actually signed and recruited by Oklahoma out of high school. I think Spencer Rattler will be the guy next year at Oklahoma. I don't think they bring in a grad transfer this year to play for 1 or 2 years. I don't see that happening with Oklahoma this year. I have a gut feeling the QB from Houston is going to transfer to OU. You heard it here first. Well, the quarterback from Houston is not even in the transfer portal. He hasn't even announced that he's leaving Houston. When he quit after week 4, he said he was coming back to Houston next year, and he hasn't said anything different than that since. That doesn't mean he won't enter the transfer portal tomorrow, but as of right now, he's not even in the transfer portal. And, I disagree. I think Spencer Rattler will start at quarterback for Oklahoma next year. Eventually Oklahoma has to play a quarterback that they recruited out of high school, or else quarterbacks are going to stop going there. I mean, they recruit 5-star quarterbacks out of high school and then, make them ride the bench so they can bring in a senior grad transfer. I don't think that happens again this year at Oklahoma. I think Spencer Rattler starts at Oklahoma next year. I would be surprised if it's anybody other than Spencer Rattler next year for Oklahoma. I would be shocked. How many decades is Miami away from relevance? I think it's impossible in college football to forecast anything out further than 4 years because you have no clue who's going to be on the team or anything like that. I don't see Miami winning the ACC anytime in the next 4 years, though. I think they're too far behind right now. Screwblower says Fromm is leaving for the NFL. I think he would be an idiot if he did, but it honestly wouldn't hurt my feelings. Packers NFC North Championship t-shirt. I guess that's amazing. Last time Miami mattered, it was hit by, oh God. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Senor Dog, thank you for the super chat. He says, I got a bulldog puppy for Christmas. Really? I've never had a bulldog. I've wanted one. I hear they're real expensive to have. A lot of health issues. I don't know. I've never had one. I've always had beagles, and now I have 2 labs. But thank you for the super chat, sir. Christopher Lane, thank you for the super chat. Waikiki, thank you for the super chat. He said, "Did Miss Mullen get what she wanted for Christmas? You mean a lifetime supply of penicillin?" Yeah, I think so. What happened to the old dominant Jake Fromm we're used to seeing? I've never seen a dominant Jake Fromm before, ever. So I don't necessarily even agree with the premise of the question. He's never had more than 2,800 total yards in a season. He's never been dominant. Jake Fromm, when surrounded with elite talent everywhere, Jake Fromm is usually good enough not to lose the game for you. That's really about it. Jenny Haggerty, good morning. Yeah, I know what an English bulldog is. I don't have to search it up. Burrow and Fromm are pretty similar last year. Crazy how things change. Burrow and Fromm were not similar last year at all. Did you watch the Georgia LSU game last year? I'm not talking about this year, last year. Watch the Georgia LSU game last year. Okay. I hear what everyone is saying about Joe Burrow, and they brought in Joe Brady and changed the scheme, and his passing numbers are better. Forget the passing numbers. Maybe you're right about that. Joe Burrow, how many times we've played LSU twice in the last 2 years, both times against Joe Burrow. How many times did we have LSU 3rd and long? It looked like we were going to get a sack. Joe Burrow scrambled around like a madman, escaped the pocket, and hit a pass downfield for a first down, or took off running and ran for a first down. How many times did that happen total in the 2 games that Georgia has played against LSU in the last 2 years? 15? Jake Fromm hasn't ran for 15 first downs in his career. Jake Fromm is the most immobile quarterback of any top 10 or top 15 team. The guy cannot move. He cannot run. He cannot move. He can't escape pressure. He can't scramble. He got sacked in the LSU game this year by an LSU defensive lineman who was literally crawling on his belly. So the idea that Burrow was just like Fromm last year is not true at all. Would you prefer Jake between those two, I would probably take Fromm. What's up, Punisher? Yeah, Eason entering the draft. And if Fromm goes pro, like the guy just said in the chat, Eason will get drafted ahead of him. And if Fromm comes back and goes pro after next year, Fields will get drafted ahead of him. So, you know. Yeah, thanks, Mick. Yeah, this robe is something serious. Mike Williams, don't give up, buddy. Listen, it's almost the off season. It's almost talking time. Don't give up now. Don't give up now. The off season is the best time to talk trash around here because everybody's you're undefeated. You're only 2 weeks away from being undefeated, sir. As soon as the national title game is played, you know, the other team will brag for a week or so, but then after that, everyone's undefeated then. Pick your chin up, buddy. Waikiki says, what is the streaming schedule this week? What's today? Friday. So tomorrow we'll do the live show tomorrow at 9, the call-in show, college game day call-in show, whatever we call it. The normal Saturday morning show from 9 to 10. And then I'm gonna stream one of the playoff games on the Patreon page. And I haven't decided which one yet. I'm probably going to do the Clemson Ohio State game because I think that's going to be the better of the two games. I think LSU is going to blow Oklahoma out. I mean, I could be wrong, but when trying to decide which of those two games to stream tomorrow, I think I'm going to stream the Clemson Ohio State game, and that'll be on the Patreon page. Which team out of these four is the best? USC, Miami, Texas, or Notre Dame? Notre Dame. You big dummy. Slim says Miami going 15-0 next season. You got to wait till after the national title game to start with that mess. You can't lose to Louisiana Tech yesterday and then be here today with the 15-0. We got to wait till after the national title game. Then everybody's going 15-0. But that seems a little too soon, Slim. Was that hashtag too soon when somebody makes a joke online that's a little inappropriate and, you know, maybe you should have waited a little while? That's hashtag too soon right there, Slim, I think, buddy. I do love your optimism, though. I would be shocked if Chase Young came back. He'll be a top 5 pick. I'd be surprised. Is that true? I don't even look at the likes, but is that true? Only 16 likes? Man, you guys not taking very good care of Uncle Lou this morning. That hurts my feelings with the likes. Any thoughts on the O-line for Georgia since a couple are leaving? I mean, we've recruited well overall, but if there's one position group that worries me the least, it's probably offensive line. So, I mean, it's anytime you lose your starting left tackle and starting right tackle, that's bad news, and that's the situation Georgia is in. Our starting left tackle and our starting right tackle are not playing in the Sugar Bowl. They're both going pro, so I'm not trying to say that's good news, but it's not like we do have good players behind them. So am I worried about the offensive line for the Sugar Bowl? Well, I'm worried about everything for the Sugar Bowl because I don't trust Georgia's ability, either from the coaching staff or from the leaders on the team. I don't trust their ability to get this team prepared for the Sugar Bowl. So everything worries me about the Sugar Bowl. But for next season, I still think Georgia will have a great offensive line. We just got too much talent for Georgia's offensive line to be an issue. Mike Williams, thank you for the Super Chat, sir. Happy New Year, Lou. Happy New Year to you too, sir. I'm thinking about making some New Year's resolutions this year. I've never done that before, but there are some things I want to do next year, and I don't know if I should pressure myself by actually making them New Year's resolutions. I don't know. I haven't decided. I've never done New Year's resolutions before, but there's a few that I'm thinking about for this year. You guys do New Year's resolutions? Better not get into that. It's 9 o'clock. We could talk about that for a whole another hour. Maybe we'll do that on Monday. We'll talk about New Year's resolutions on the Monday show. How about that? I don't want to get carried away on that now. Who's the top 8 college football programs of all time? Alabama. I'm not gonna do that off the top of my head. I'm not gonna do that. Glad you're back on schedule. Hope the holiday was all you wanted it to be. Love the pictures you posted. Have a good morning, and thank you, Celine Driver. I appreciate that. Shout out to Celine Driver too, and he did this last year too. But I checked my mail a couple of days, or might have even been the day before Christmas. Envelope in there, one of the big envelopes, and then inside that big envelope was 4 regular envelopes from Celine Driver. One for me, one for Mrs. Lou, one for Lou Jr., and one for Luann. So he sent. Not only did he send us out a Christmas card, he sent each of us a Christmas card, and he put a little something in there in each one too. I just and you didn't have to do that. The fact that you would even think to send a Christmas card, much less 4, so that meant a lot. So thank you, and I thanked you, on a message already, but figured I would thank you publicly here too. Will Kirby hire a real offensive coordinator in the offseason? No. Two 5-star QBs from Athens. Neither are going to UGA. Who? Names, please. I'm waiting on these names. Yeah, I think Florida wins fairly easily. I'm doing a preview on that game. I can't remember. I went over the schedule at the beginning of the show of when I was doing each of the preview videos coming up. I don't remember what I said for Florida, but I'll be previewing that game. It might be today. I can't remember, but I do think Florida will win. I'm waiting on these 2 names of 5-star quarterbacks from Athens. Brock Vandergrift from Baggart, Georgia. Is Baggart, Georgia, Athens, Georgia? Asking for a friend. So 0 then? So 0 5-star quarterbacks from Athens. Got you. Okay. So that, I don't know why you typed 2. Maybe it was a typo. Maybe you meant type 0. I don't know. But Brock Vandergrift's been committed to Oklahoma for a year. Bogart is Clark County. Well, maybe if you would have typed 1 quarterback from Clark County not going to Georgia, then that would have made sense. But to say 2 quarterbacks from Athens not going to Georgia, and then the only one you name is not from Athens, he's from Bogart. No, I'm still waiting on the second one too. It sounds to me like what you meant to say was 2 5-star quarterbacks from Georgia, from the state of Georgia, in which case that would have made a little bit of sense. But to say 2 5-star quarterbacks from Athens makes little to no sense. Slim Shady, thank you, sir. He says, at least we all know FSU is the worst team in the state. Well, it is hard to argue that. My favorite breakfast cereal, Fruit Loops, and it's not close. I like, also, I like Frosted Flakes too. What else? What do I like? Fruit Loops, Frosted Flakes, Cocoa Krispies. But I don't eat cereal very. You know when I eat cereal now, I don't hardly ever eat, but I eat cereal now as a snack at night. After an hour or two after dinner, if I'm hungry and nothing else sounds good, I'll eat a bowl of Fruit Loops at night. I don't get up in the morning and eat a bowl of cereal. Those days are long gone. Yeah, Max Johnson is a 4-star. So, again, I think you just need to revisit your original comment that you made. But yeah, Max Johnson is a 4-star. And he's from Oconee County, which is not Athens and not Clark County. So, again, if you want to say the closest thing I can think of that you could have said that would have been true would have been, there's 2 highly rated quarterbacks from the state of Georgia that aren't going to Georgia, in which case some people probably would have agreed with you. And how many 4-star players do you think there are in the state of Georgia, Jameson Thomas? How many do you think there are? Take a wild guess. I like Harrison Bailey too. No, my feelings have not changed about the Sugar Bowl. Yeah, Fields is so far it's so much better than Fromm. It's not even debatable at this point. who's playing in the we looked at it earlier. I'll pull it up again. Oh, the Cheez-It Bowl. I think that was Washington State and Air Force. Let me look. Yeah, Washington State and Air Force. I'll put this up one more time before we end it. Here's the games today, though. I think 4 out of 5 of these games are watchable. And again, I did this preview video the other day. So if you want to know my thoughts on any of these games that are being played today, I did this video. I think I did this the day before or 2 days before Christmas. I previewed all these games here. Later today, I am previewing these 2 games and all the Monday games. So somebody was asking about Florida a few minutes ago. That preview will be coming out today. I did the 2 playoff games yesterday. Previewed these 2 playoff games yesterday. I've previewed all the games up through today, and I've previewed these 2 playoff games. So the preview video that I do today will be these 2 games: Memphis versus Penn State, Notre Dame versus Iowa State, and then all the Monday games: Western Kentucky versus Western Michigan, Mississippi State versus Louisville, Cal versus Illinois, and Florida versus Virginia. So that'll be that'll be what's coming up later today. Yeah. And with that, I think I'm going to end the Stream Slim says never too soon for 15-0. Well, that might be debatable. All right, I appreciate you guys tuning in this morning. Again, the Uncle Lou Morning Show, we do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. And if it continues to go well in the off season, I'm probably going to expand this and just do it all 5 days. I love doing this morning show. It's easy to do. It gives me an opportunity to talk about some things sometimes that aren't football related. A lot of what we've talked about so far on the morning show since we started it a couple of months ago has been football because it's football season. But the idea in general was to make this show a little bit of football, but then some stuff that's not football too, because I just spend so much time on here talking about football with the live shows I do at night and on Saturdays, and then all the videos I uploaded. I wanted an opportunity to talk about things maybe not football related, and we've done a pretty good job of that over the course of the couple of months that this show's been going so far. We mix some other things in. Talked a lot about Christmas and New Year's over the last couple of weeks. Talked about Thanksgiving, Halloween. We've talked about movies, all kinds of stuff on here. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Today's Friday, so this is the last morning show of the week. In fact, this was the only morning show of the week because of the Christmas holiday. But we'll be back next week on Monday. And I'll probably do one. Well, I do one on New Year's Day. I probably won't do the morning show on New Year's Day, which is Wednesday, right? Probably not. I'll let you know for sure, but probably no morning show on Wednesday. But we'll do it on Monday and Friday though, and 2 also as well. All right, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will see you again very, very soon.